Well, the next brand we are going to introduce to you is very innovative, very interesting. That's Thrax. It appeared 15 years ago when the talented engineer and entrepreneur Rumen Artarski presented the prototype of a sensational tube preamplifier which impeded the company's formation. Today, in a vast technology park in the suburbs of Sofia, under the leadership of Rumen, a team of specialists from all over the world creates revolutionary components. What have they brought to the table now?
During the COVID period, we had quite a lot of time to think things over and to play with different ideas. So we went back to basics, why things were invented and what people were trying to achieve. And we started with the development of an amplifier based on VFET technology. This is something that the Japanese came up in the early 70s, and they were shortly superseded by MOSFET transistors. But that particular breed of transistor that was brought in that short period has the characteristics of vacuum tubes. And as you know, we are suckers for vacuum tubes. Everything we do is based on vacuum tubes, and we haven't found any better amplifying device. So we started playing with old transistors, trying to replace the tubes. But unfortunately, they don't have exactly the same characteristics. The first generation of those wasn't as linear as we would like to. It ends up that another company took over that 20 years later, and they were still developing static induction transistors, is what they are called, and they are much more linear. And we managed to acquire some new old stock of those, and we developed for internal use an amplifier for us. Then we found some more stock and more, and we managed to build enough to produce a limited run of 25 pairs of a single-ended 100 watts Class A VFET power amp. Here we are entirely single-ended, which is more complicated, needs bigger transformers, cleaner power supply and so on. So it's actually quite a complicated thing, although the signal path is very simple. Our idea with this is that we are actually pushing a couple of manufacturers to restart producing those devices. And if that happens in the next 2 or 3 years, we might relaunch a complete line of VFET electronics. They're very linear, they give you that extra resolution in the low levels, and there is no real intermodulation in the peaks, so the tone of the instruments somehow is different. We've tried all the technologies you can think of, all kinds of devices. During COVID we had plenty of time to play with them, and this is by far our favorite. So more or less this is like we are sharing what we found out with the wider public. It's not really a commercial thing because 25 pairs, that's it.
Yeah, but that's excellent. So, and here is Libra, right? That's the state-of-the-art product that you made, like
the 300B preamp that we do. This is going very well, although generally the 300B tubes are very noisy because they're done for output power amplification. We pick up tubes from KR and emission labs. They use their construction allows them to have lower noise and suitable for preamplification. So this is what we do here.
300B is your favorite tube, seems to me, right?
Let's say it's not the favorite, it's in the list, but,
it's
the one that everybody knows.
All your flagship products is
to be honest, it's the one that everybody knows. If you ask me, I would probably go for a different type, but then nobody would have heard of it.
Okay, which one?
Do I dare?
Okay. So, as I remember, your Maximinus deck was developed with the same approach as your turntable. You invited the chief engineer from the Dual, right? And your deck was designed with the help of the MSB, correct?
Yes, the birth of the Maximinus was actually MSB Diamond DAC motherboard redesigned slightly so that we can implement our voltage regulation technology, and we removed the buffers that they were using and we replaced them with transformers. The evolution of this idea was that we developed our own modules to be put on the MSB motherboards, and then we developed our own front end because the motherboard from MSB was aging already. It was introduced in 2014, I think, and 5 years later it's too old in the digital domain. So we had to design a completely new front end, and along that we actually switched to DAC modules that operate at higher voltages. So we have more than 40 volts swing on the DAC. and then we use a step-down transformer that does simultaneously the output filtering and also the conditioning of the signal, lowering the output impedance and adjusting the volume to be the standard interface level. And the result was very successful, so we introduced this as the Maximinus MK2, and now it has an S because we're using silver wound transformers for extra resolution. We ordered a special batch.
That's another innovation that you use, right? Silver things in all of your components now.
We actually ordered special batch of silver that is stretched, so you have a monocrystalline structure on the wire, and that sounds better than anything else. It's not like the jewelry silver; it's very different.